But like at the audition, I probably heard enough in the first song to know we've got something we can build on.
I hope that I've brought something to the table, if that makes sense. It's the amount that brought me out, and I sat there and I watched Pete. I watched him like an old because Pete is a great singer. He's a fucking amazing singer, and even now to this day, I've still took things from Pete and I still use it on stage, and I still sing like that. I love the way that it sounds, and I love the way that it portrays it. The way he portrays the song, it's just unbelievable. Do you know what I mean? And I've tried to mould that with the way that I sing at the same time. And don't get me wrong, like I said to you, give me 6 months. Give me six to 10 months maximum.
Imagine going out onto stage and there's 1,000 people in front of you. Do you think it's more intimidating that them in a theatre doing like that so you can look cool? Or would you rather have them like a crowd going back at floor level? I think it makes you more relaxed.
Because the thing is, you can work, I think, with it being like that, I think you can work the crowd more when them separated, if that makes sense. Like when them staggered, you can work them more, so you can say top middle, top middle, bottom. You can work your way around.
I think the audience surrounds you a little bit and it makes it more intimate.
It was like when you asked for the lights to come up and stuff like that, you wanted to see everybody.
All night I could not see what was up there, and I said, you know what?
You can only see a few, we couldn't see you a lot.
That's why I said, get the lights up, because I want to see who's up there. If you're coming to see me, I want to see you.
As you walked out on the stage and just within that first song, like,
I don't know what
his
happened.
own in
I
this.
don't know what happened that night. You
just like commanded you was like representing the band and commanded the audience. It was great
to sit there. When I realised, I was like, fucking hell, like, do you know what I mean? I was like, I'm actually like in this band, and I was like, I'm actually in that band, like. But
do you prefer to do that than the solo stuff?
Yeah. Do you know what? When I even said to when I done a solo gig a couple of months back at the Golden Lion, I fucking hated it. I hated every second of it.
I don't think you can beat a full live band,
no.
can you?
And you know what? He says, I don't feel comfortable. I said, why? I said, I ain't got the band behind me. I said, I feel comfortable when I know I've got Mace behind me, I've got you behind me, I've got Tom, I've got George, I've got Marius,
Do you know what?
I've got Sid.
Do you know what? You're being looked at, right?
Do you know what I mean?
In the band, you can interact with other band members. With solo, you can only
turn around and look at the fucking poster on the wall.
When you make eye contact with an audience member and you do something to them, or just look at them or something like that, smile at them, and they just go.
And then just
or they look away like that.
Like at the theatre.
People are naturally shy, aren't they? You know what I mean?
When we was at the theatre, there was a disabled guy, and I think it was his wife that was with him. And then next to them there was a disabled woman, and it was all on the front row, and she sung every fucking word, every single word, all the way through every single song. And when I was singing, I literally like looked at her and I sang at her, and she, you know what? She was like, she was loving it, and I was like, see, this is what it's all about.
Yeah, it is
if you can't make someone happy for a couple of hours, what's the point? I know Peter's left, and obviously he don't sing with the band no more, but obviously he's still a part.
He's still part
of
it.
For me, I don't know. Obviously, I know it's going to feel you, but for me, Pete holds a special place in my heart, and he always will do. I learned a lot from him, even though that short space of time, I learned a lot from him.
And he'll always be.
So I'll tell you what, just before you joined, or I'll say just before, in the months before you joined regarding bass, and then a little bit more before that, two people joined our band. Well, Mason come along first, absolutely transformed the sound effects and things that we use, and the little bells and whistles, and nothing has took, everything has just added, it hasn't took away.
Anything away now.
And especially just the saxophone itself as well. But the other thing is, a mega major change was when Tom switched from keys to bass. His fingers bled that week. He he didn't get a bass amp until like 5 days before his first bass gig, and it was at Breward Village Hall. It was at Breward Jubilee Hall.
Wrong direction.
Wrong direction. It was at Breward Ildy though. It was at Breward Jubilee Hall, and it was the first gig where Marius come back on keys and Tom switched to bass, and the sound of Signing Off has been transformed ever since.